Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Couch Coaches podcast. I am your host, Peter. With me, my main man, co-host Terrell. Terrell, say what's up.
So, what's up, people?
All right, so week one of the NFL, and we had a very interesting start to it. Antonio Brown. Let's talk about that. So
Man, what a DA, man.
I
What a freaking DA.
I know what I mean. This is just now breaking. Apparently, he's been accused of raping his former trainer in federal court. The lawsuit was just filed today. Just when you thought this roller coaster ride was over, something new happens.
Great timing by her, man. She waited everything out. I don't know how she timed it all out. She waited it all out. There's so much AB stuff going on, like thing after thing after thing. I mean, you'd have thought she probably threw it in the midst of all the Raider stuff, but she like waited to the perfect time, like the dust was finally settling, and then she hits us with this. So great timing. She's gonna pay our PR team a lot of money.
I know, like you think, like her lawyer had to be sitting on this, right? Like we're just
Yeah,
waiting for that moment,
for,
like maybe
for sure.
waiting for that check to cash, like that first check. Maybe get this
Yeah,
hush hush money.
maybe she saw that 30 million might go away. She's like, hold off, let's hold off on this. Let's wait. And they saw that deal was done with the Patriots, so she was like, okay, now it's time to cash in.
Oh
So
man, I mean, so people are saying like this is just a factor of social media. Like he's growing up in the social media age, and if we had social media, 10, 20 years ago with like Randy Moss and To, they would have been just as bad, if not worse. But I don't know if I buy that. I just guys today just seem
yeah,
different.
yeah. I don't know if Randy or To are doing this. Like it seemed like AB had this all planned out, or he took this to the next level of being like a wide receiver diva. I know To had his problems when he was in Philly and when Dallas and stuff like this, but I feel like what AB's done is just like it's like next level. I know supposedly he got clearance or his editor got clearance to record the video call with John Green, but still like that's not something you do. Even though if you make a documentary, a doc, you're still not gonna do that. I
You,
mean, that's just crazy.
I was waiting for the Nike logo to drop. I thought it was a Nike commercial for sure. Like, right? You were just
Oh,
waiting for
really?
the like
Yeah.
just do it to pop up at the end. It was edited so well. But yeah, I
I know. I'm
agree.
sure.
Like To, like he was crazy, man, but you never questioned that man played hard, hard, hard. And so did Randy. I mean, sometimes he'd take a playoff, but those guys were about winning. I mean, shoot, AB quit on his team last year, week 17, needing to win to get in.
I mean, that's the whole thing was like everyone like AB always technically had these problems, or he was kind of a diva, but he was everything everyone heard was he was the hardest working guy in the building. So like all these other problems, people just kind of like pushed off to the side because like I mean he was great and he was the hardest working guy. So you kind of like, well, he's doing everything he needs to do on the field. We can kind of turn a blind eye to all the stuff off the field because I mean the guy works hard and he's like kind of the first one in, last one out type of mentality. But I think when he went to Oakland, he kind of lost that. I mean, first he froze his feet, and then like he wasn't he wasn't
I'm
a,
convinced the feet was a setup. I think he did that on purpose. Like I've
you
been in the
think he did.
cryo before. Like you can't forget that. Like oh, like that's like rule number 1. Put socks and slippers on your feet.
So you think he froze his feet on purpose?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Would you put it past him with all the stuff that's happened?
I
Like,
mean, no, I wouldn't. I mean, but like that's just a lot. Like that's a lot to go through. Like I don't know if I'm freezing my feet just to get out of town. I'm probably doing some other stuff before I freeze my feet. This sounds really painful to
maybe he
freeze your
didn't
feet.
realize how bad it was gonna be. Maybe he thought it was just gonna be like, oh, I just freeze my feet and I'm gonna be out. I don't have to go to training camp or anything like that. And then his, frostbite was no joke.
I'm imagine like it's not easy just to walk around with like frozen like the frostbite feet. Like I'm sure it hurts. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know what to think about all this, man. It's just been a wild I mean, fantasy owners everywhere. It was bad, it was good, then it was bad again. Then it was great when he's signing with the Patriots, which everyone knew, of course, he was going to sign with the Patriots. Like that was an easy guess, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
soon I think everyone said it was either the Patriots or the Cowboys, but like I think everyone knew as soon as like he got released, he's probably going to Patriots.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't think Jerry needs another
It's crazy.
headache. He's already got Zeke, who's a handful.
That's true, but Jerry loves headaches. He wants the problem child.
Yeah, he says that, but Dak. I mean, he's got his boy Dak, and Dak is the role model of what a quarterback should be
Yeah,
in this league,
that's
especially
true.
for Jerry's teams. But
I was I was listening to Bill Simmons podcast earlier, and Bill Simmons thought the Chiefs had a shot at Antonio Brown, like if they didn't trade Shady, and I'm thinking, man, like that would be great, like for a weapons like standpoint and like offense, but like I don't know if I want that trouble in the Chiefs. Like they're perfectly fine the way they are. They don't need that extra baggage that comes with Antonio Brown, even though it might be for a Super Bowl run. But like I guess if you look at it in hindsight, like you much rather them have him on the Chiefs than have him on the Patriots because I'm sure the Chiefs and Patriots are going to meet up later. Where Antonio Brown has just gave us problems from being in Pittsburgh, so it'll be interesting to see for sure.
yeah, I mean, the Shady pickup was a great move. Like Andy Reid, kind of likes middle tier problem guys, maybe a little bit of a talker, not really just the over the top stuff. Like because he had T.O. in Philly, and God, we know how that went.
Yeah, that's, I mean, he got rid of Marcus Peters, and that was
That's
a problem
that's
itself.
true. Big
So I
problem
guess
child.
I think actually the Chiefs are probably trying to turn the corner. I mean, with the Tyreek Hill stuff, the Kareem Hunt stuff, and like all this other stuff, they're probably just cutting down on that stuff. Honestly, they're
That
probably like, we want these clean cut guys. Like we've had too many of these incidents. So, and with the new AB stuff that came out today, so it would have been
Y-
like, man, no, we
Yeah, for
gotta cut
real.
ties for
Bad
sure.
instantly. And
Yeah,
and Mahomes is a perfect guy. Like he seems to be, Mr. Wonderful to be leading that team at QB to, maybe move away from some of those more troubled guys.
yeah,
But
for sure. So it's probably a good move for them not to get in that party.
all right. All right, let's
But
get into
that's enough AB talk. Yeah.
let's get into week 1 recap. So AB talk, New England, Pittsburgh, the Sunday night game, Super Bowl champs getting their banner unveiled. And boy, was that a beat down.
Man, like I watched the Sunday night game just because it was football, but like the Steelers is like looked lost. Like they couldn't move the ball. Like they didn't know how to play like football. It was really bad, and it just made me think like, should we play the other 15 games or should we just give the championship to the Patriots right now?
I
I
know.
mean, like this is the Patriots without Antonio Brown. Like people are wide open. Josh Gordon, like 2013 Josh Gordon. I mean, it was ridiculous. I
I,
mean,
I
and the
know.
Steelers are supposed to be a pretty good team this year.
I know. I was expecting like Pittsburgh to come out like determined. They got rid of AB. They look so happy because AB's made a fool of himself. Le'Veon Bell's gone. All right, Mike Tomlin, Big Ben. We're gonna right the ship. New England's looked bad first 4 weeks of the season. They've looked terrible. I mean, Casey toasted them 2 years ago in the opener in New England. So I was expecting Pittsburgh to show them. And New England just came out, didn't run the ball, and we're slinging it all over the place like we're running, old Mike Leach offense from Washington State, throwing to the running backs, hitting guys, dragging across the middle. And it was beautiful. Like Bill Belichick is a master at making everybody else look stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to say. I mean, other than the Steelers just look completely lost, and like they were like in territories where they probably should go for it, and they were just like punting the ball away. I mean, they just looked like they were not into it, and you could tell like they were just like wanting to get off the field. Like you know, receivers weren't catching the ball, so they really weren't helping Big Ben out, and I mean, it just looked
Yeah, I know.
bad. And
Moncrief was terrible. I mean,
oh my gosh, he
uh,
was so bad.
that was so frustrating. I mean, at least Juju showed like he could be a number 1 receiver, though. At least he looked like he was playing
That's
pretty hard and getting open.
That's true. That's true. And Gilmore was following him the whole night. So that's true. Juju still he showed that he could be the number one receiver, but they're gonna have to have other guys step up. I mean,
Yeah.
Moncrief has definitely got to step up. James Washington's got to step up. Vince McDonald can't go quiet like he did. I
Yeah.
mean,
They
for
gotta
sure.
they
So
gotta try and run the ball more, I think. Like I don't know why they didn't run the ball. Like the whole thing was we threw the ball too much to AB last year. We are just throwing it up. We're gonna go back to Pittsburgh ground and pound with Connor. And it's like,
yeah,
nope.
yeah. I don't know. Like they just couldn't get anything on the ground either. Like Connor was just like neutralized. I mean, every time I looked up, it was like, either him or Samuels getting stopped for 2 yard games. So
Yeah. Typical
um,
typical Bill
Bill
B.
just
Bill B knows
just
it.
had his number, man.
He owns
Yeah.
up.
Also, quick side note. You see, Bill's son is coaching the secondary. Does he have a mullet going or something?
I
You
don't
see his
know.
haircut?
I mean, I didn't see that.
What was that?
He might. I was a little bit of lettuce in the back, man. Just trying to
Yeah, for
live life.
sure.
Uh,
I don't know. I don't know if Tim and Bill. No, sorry, Pete. It's gonna offend you. I don't know if they both go together to Great Clips to get their haircuts or
no.
what. But man,
Yeah,
that haircut he had going, I don't know what's going on. I'm sure he's a mastermind, but
yo,
someone better get him a barber.
well, Bill sets the standard with the wardrobe attire that he's always wearing out there. So, do you expect anything less from his son?
That's true. That's true. He watched his father grow up, so I'm sure he doesn't have much fashionable sense. He just goes with whatever.
Yeah. All right. So, champs look like the champs, and good luck to the rest of the NFL this year, because yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
gonna be
gonna
a
be tough. It's
handful.
gonna
But
be
maybe
tough.
not so much with AB. Who knows how this thing's gonna play out? The opener, Green Bay Chicago, 100th anniversary, longest rivalry in football, and that was one of the most boring games I've ever watched. That was
Oh
just
my gosh. Why I mean, why did we put the Patriots on Thursday night? I
oh
mean, why
because
Super Bowl chance?
we,
Like, come on
we had
now.
to celebrate the 100 years oldest rivalry in sports, and God, Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers do not look like a match made in heaven. They looked lost. They were frustrated. They couldn't move the ball at all. Like, I understand Chicago's defense is elite, but I mean, the rhythm, the timing was off. It was just bad.
I mean, they looked bad for 58 minutes, and they had 2 minutes where they scored a touchdown. They looked good.
That's true.
I mean, but I think what Rogers hit someone deep, and then
The,
he hit Jimmy Graham and like in the corner. So I mean, it probably they had 45 seconds worth of good offense,
yep,
honestly. And
really just two throws Rogers made, and that was it.
yeah,
But Mitch
man,
Trubisky, are we sure he can play quarterback in the NFL?
man, I don't know. I don't know what it was. I don't know. The Packers defense did look better, but like I don't know if it's that good. Like Mitch just looked lost. I
I
mean, he wouldn't like seem like he didn't want to take off running. I think that's really what he needs to do. And I saw this a little bit with Josh Allen, and maybe if we hit on that Buffalo game,
yeah.
like once you start taking off, get some easy completions, like getting a feel of the game, then like those other throws are come a little easier to you and stuff like that. And I feel like Mitch was trying to like prove to everyone that he could be this like pocket passer or whatever, and it just really didn't work out. And I don't know. I want to talk about David Montgomery. I think it's his name. The rookie that L talked about. He only had 6 carries.
Yeah, I was surprised, I watch a lot of the Bears because, my Vikings, I got to keep tabs on them. And Trubisky is so one-dimensional. He can only throw when he runs out of the pocket, and when he looks to run, he sticks his head down and he's just going to run. He's not going to throw it downfield on you. If you can take away those one or two looks from Trubisky, he hasn't shown me anything that he can be not just an elite quarterback, but a good quarterback in this league. And you got to be sick if you're Chicago. You traded up for this guy, and you passed on Deshaun Watson and Pat Mahomes. Like, that's all. I would be
Yeah.
sick to my stomach with looking at that. But like you said, yeah, Montgomery, they said they were going to get him the rock, and they did not. I mean, Green Bay was kind of stout up front, but they seemed like they got away from their game plan real quick, and I'm not sure what Nagy was doing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what Nagy. I'm not sure what he was doing, but he's got to definitely regroup week 2. He's got Denver, so it's not gonna be easy task. But I did see Nagy. Off subject. He came in with his pregame. He had a suit and he was rocking like
Oh yeah,
a
the
little
throwback, the
the
little
throwback.
cap. Yeah, like Al Michaels and
Forgot.
Collinsworth. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like a fedora almost. Like he was rocking. It
They
looked
were
like he was like old school, like old town, like Chicago mafia look. It was
ooh.
interesting.
It was a good look,
So
just
man,
not a
yeah. So Nagy bringing out a little swag, I guess you could say. But it was funny. It was interesting to see.
maybe he should have coached it. He may have been better.
Yeah, that's you should the old is that Mike Ditka who used to coach in like a suit or like a button down with
No,
a tie
Dicka
or
had
something? Oh
like
no,
Dicka had the
he's a
sweatshirt.
sweater.
Yeah, the sweater,
That's
the
right. That's
classic
the
bear
sweatshirt. That's
sweater.
right. How could I
Class.
forget that? Oh
Yeah.
man.
Classic look.
So, but
Yeah.
he should have coached in that for sure.
Yeah. All right. Next game we're gonna move to my best friend Baker Mayfield. Boy, did
Oh,
he showed out this weekend for me, didn't he? One
yeah.
touchdown,
I'm not
three.
gonna let I'm not gonna let you have that Baker slander here, man. You know
One
Baker's my
one
boy.
touchdown, 3 picks against the Titans at home with all those weapons and all that talk. Man, noisy teams, they
Uh,
never look good, do they?
oh man, you know what? It was just a week one. Like you have to get the jitters out. Like they're gonna bounce back next week, and it's gonna be okay. It's actually, it's a good week too because it's gonna get your boy Darnold and
um,
my boy Baker. Oh,
uh,
you already off the Darnold bandwagon?
man,
Come
they
on,
had
don't
a
tell
they
me.
did not. He missed 2 throws in that game against Buffalo at the end of that game that could have won that game for them, and he missed 2 deep balls. So I mean, I
Yeah,
know
his
last
stats
year,
aren't great.
nah, last year was a Baker's coming out party against the Jets in Cleveland, so it should be interesting to see if he gets the mojo going again. But Freddie Kitchens, never been a coordinator in the league. He didn't look like a good head coach. They gave up more points every quarter. So the longer the game went on, the no adjustments were made, and they kept giving up points after points. I mean, shoot, they gave up 40 plus points to Marcus Mariota and the Titans. Let's be honest, like
Uh,
this,
yeah, they
they
have zero. Like they have Derrick Henry and a
yeah.
couple
Oh,
couple
that was a
receivers like Corey
great
Davis, AJ
great
Brown. Like
great screen pass to Henry for the touchdown. But they're anything
yeah,
but world beaters on offense. But their defense, Mike Vrabel, Bill Belichick's school of coaching, we're gonna play good D, pound a rock, and hopefully get enough points in the end of the game
is
to
there
win.
is there a Bill Belichick school of coaching though? Like, do we have a successful Bill Belichick predecessor?
I mean,
Like Brian Flores got blown out. The homeboy in Detroit got tied. He let freaking Murray come down. I mean, we'll talk about it later. He let him
oh
come
yeah,
down late in the
Patricia.
fourth quarter. And then there's been some other guys he's just owned. Like, I don't know. Is there a real
Well,
predecessor?
like Vrabel played for him for so long. You see
Okay.
all these expatriate guys. Bill only surrounds himself with smart players. Like you've seen with bad players that aren't smart not work out. Like Chad Johnson totally bust and stuff like that. But you see like all these expatriates, Teddy Bruschi, Willie McGinnis, they're all on analysts doing X, Y, and Z. So I definitely it's that kind of Bill Belichick school of football knowledge, real smart guys. I mean,
That's true. That's true. That's very true.
I mean, you
Uh,
you can't argue with his success. That's a not a super deep talented team that seems to always be pretty decent.
yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right about that. So, I mean, I want to see more of the Browns in week two. Um, so that's all I got on that. I don't want to get into the Baker slander,
Yeah.
which I'm sure you love to get into.
Oh,
No,
my heart could take.
although I might be off the Baker bandwagon already on fantasy,
Ah,
but we'll
it's
see. We'll
fantasy.
see.
It
We'll
is
see.
fantasy. Yeah. All right. So
It's fantasy. I can't really play around with that too much.
it's early. It's early. Don't overreact. No overreaction
You're
week
right.
one.
Can't have yeah, that's right. Can't have the week one overreaction.
Yeah. All right. So the other early games, the Jets, my second beloved Jets, the rest of my family, Jet fans, blowing a 16-0 lead at home. What else is new? The Jets are still the Jets. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and Adam Gay said he don't want Le'Veon Bell. Man, without Le'Veon Bell, he wouldn't even be close to the 16-point
For
lead.
I know, for
Uh,
real. I mean, until the end there, the
so,
Jets defense was actually playing pretty well for a unit that didn't seem like was going to be good. But that offense, man, they scored 10 points, I think, because they had a pick six. And then gotta love their kicker, missing an extra point, missing a field goal.
that's always tough. That's always tough. To the Jets' credit, they did lose C.J. Mosley like in the second quarter, who's playing awesome for them. So,
That is true.
but
He had the pick six.
yeah, he had the pick six. So I mean, that's kind of tough when lose one of your aces on defense.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't have much to talk about this game
Yeah.
other than Josh Allen showed a lot of resilience and even in coming back and bringing the Bills back.
Yeah.
I think this division is still horrible, but someone's got to win between the two teams.
Someone does have to win. We might as well give New England the division crown already. Punch them through. All right, Philly, Washington. Philly had a little bit of a heart attack for the first 2.5 quarters. It felt like against the old Case Keenum Skins. Vernon Davis apparently found the fountain of youth, jumping over 6 people on the sideline, going to the house. That was insane.
Yeah, yeah. Like I don't know what the skins thing what they're trying to do here. Like they're in a real like blah area where they're like kind of rebuilding and kind of trying to compete. Like they got some young pieces. Like
Yeah.
they got Haskins in the wing, and they got guys who seems hurt, but they got some young pieces. But they're also like got Case Keenum at the quarterback. I know the whole Alex Smith deal, but like, what are they really trying
Yeah,
to do
and
here?
then they
Like, I
got
feel like they need to.
little Gruden. Like, what's he gonna do as a head? Like, he seems like he's on his last life there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they need to just like blow it all up or what. Like, I mean, they were almost made the playoffs last year, so it's really weird to see what they're really trying to do. But it'll be interesting to
Yeah,
see like how the season goes for the Redskins.
it never works when you kind of sit in mediocrity forever because they're not terrible. So you're not getting that great draft pick or that, maybe Haskins is that game changing quarterback, but I'm not sure. But Carson Wentz is an absolute stud. He looked like he was back healthy, pre ACL tear, MVP, Carson
Yeah,
Wentz. He
looks
was
great.
disgusting. And Deshaun Jackson back in his city. Man, Philly loves
Yeah,
Deshaun and Deshaun loves Philly. It was
yeah. Talk about speaking founding the founding youth. He
yeah,
found it too, man.
man, he still got the wheels. He cannot
Yeah.
be slowed down. That man, and Darren Sproles. Darren Sproles showed he still got a little something, something in the tank. Had a couple good
Yeah, man.
runs.
I don't know how these guys do it. It's crazy. I don't know how Deshaun Jackson is, but he still can fly. Like that's one of the things you can't teach. You can't teach speed, but like at a certain age, you thought you would lose it, but I guess not. I
You
mean,
know,
Wentz found him open twice deep,
bam.
so
And he dropped it on the money. And I think it's the
yeah.
whole sports nutrition. The game's been changed. Tom Brady, TB12, all that nonsense. Guys are really taking care of their bodies now. So maybe we'll see that. Maybe this is just the norm, the new norm. All right.
Yeah, maybe we will. I don't know. I mean, football's so violent. All right, for these guys
Yeah,
to stay healthy, like this is crazy. So
Who knows? I mean, we are going to be playing flag football soon enough. It feels like with these rules. But other early game, Rams defending NFC champs against your boy Cam Newton and the Panthers. They didn't seem to have too much of a hangover. Cam looked awful, which didn't surprise me. Just
it's sad to see Cam look bad. I really hope he bounces back Thursday night. I mean, you know how I feel about Cam. I
yeah.
love Cam. I wish Cam the best, but I mean,
Cam's your
I
boy.
sure hope he can. Oh, hope he can figure it out.
I mean, you
Because
gotta. You're almost off the Cam train, right? Like you're almost.
no, I mean, like I'm not almost off the Cam train, but it's like you can only defend him for so long. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
like he had the shoulder
Shoulder
thing,
now the foot
and
sprain in training camp in the
yeah.
preseason.
So I
It's
mean, I really hope this Buccaneers game would be good. I mean, I think this Buccaneers defense is actually pretty decent compared to what I mean. Looking at the score, after looking at the score, but I think if he gets a good showing here on Thursday on a short week, comes out,
little
fires it, lights it
little
up,
confidence back, get it back
little
going.
confidence
Yeah.
booster. They definitely could win this division. I mean, this division is up for grabs for anybody. The Falcons. I mean, we'll touch on it. They did
Yeah.
not look great.
Ooh.
So,
But
yeah,
yeah,
we'll
I
hit on
mean,
it.
just
Cam.
feed McCaffrey. You got to feed McCaffrey. He seems to be
Yeah,
he's a
feed
stud.
Wildcat.
He is a stud. All right, I don't know if it's the big surprise, the Lamar Jackson coming out party in Miami. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Was that
Lamar
something?
Jackson had people wanting to quit on the Miami Dolphins after
I what was that? Multiple players asked to be traded because they had
like,
enough of this. Oh my god.
yeah, week
Uh
one, they're like, "Yo, this ain't going nowhere. I need to get out of here." That's crazy. Like, so think about texting your agent like, "Yo, you got to get me out of here. Like,
like
this
this is
ain't for
not.
me. Like, Miami might be nice, but I don't want my get my ass kicked week in and week out. Like,
Oh,
Lamar Jackson just hung 60 on us. Like,
uh,
I need to get out of here."
he threw the ball for 5 touchdowns. I mean, it was a little bit of him. I saw Hollywood Brown running 1-on-1 the entire time down the field. Like, guys, put a safety over the top. We know this man can fly. If anything, he's got Tyreek Hill speed. He's fast, like
Yeah,
fast, fast.
real
And they let
he's
him
real
go.
fast.
They let him go. But then the Ravens defense embarrassed. Lockdown Harbaugh. Are we sure Jim's the best Harbaugh? John might be. Down there in Baltimore. They seem to always have a good solid team, and maybe Lamar, they get back from this Flacco bounce back because they certainly need a good run this year, I think.
Wait, is there even a debate which Harbaugh is better? I think it's pretty clear
No,
that it's Jim.
uh,
Like Jim has a Super Bowl ring. He's
you
been
mean
pretty steady
John?
there. I mean, sorry,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
sorry,
John.
John.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
John. John has a Super Bowl ring. I mean, he's been pretty steady there in Baltimore, year in year out. He's pretty competitive. Jim's almost leads the Army up here in Michigan. Like he hasn't
Yo,
done anything other than have highly preseason ranked
I,
teams. I mean, he really hasn't done anything
he
outside of that. Like
he just seems like the
so.
whisperer because of Stanford, and then the dumpster fire San Francisco's become. After he left, I mean, he had them
Uh,
one play away from winning the Super Bowl.
that's true. No, you're true. That's true. That's right. That's
Yeah,
two good points.
yeah, it's wild.
But I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, like I said,
he's got the
Jim. I mean, John has been very consistent. So I don't know.
Yeah, but Baltimore look good. If they can play, if Lamar Jackson can throw the ball like that, they're dangerous. They're gonna play defense. They can pound the rock. Ingram looked like a perfect fit there. But fun fact: Ryan Fitzpatrick, first quarterback ever to throw a touchdown for 8 different football teams. NFL record. Give a hand for the Harvard grad.
It's magic. Way to go.
Other side note: first quarterback to throw an interception for 8 different NFL teams.
Comes
Big
with the good,
yes.
comes with the bad.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's Fitzmagic for you right there.
All right. Let's get to the game I was most excited about. My boys
Oh
in
man,
purple in Minnesota bringing on Matty Ice, and that was a butt kicking.
man. I would look at the score and I was like, what? Wait, for real? 21-0? Because I think it
28,
got to 20, 20
28,
they got to
28 nothing.
28-0? I
28
was like,
nothing in the
what is
fourth
going
quarter. We had
on?
them. A lot of expectations for the team after going to the NFC Championship game 2 years ago. You signed Kirk Cousins. You have a really just a disastrous year, all said and done. They looked hungry. I'll tell you what. Zim's defense came out firing. Uh, got a 3-and-out, a sack on the first play of the game, blocked the punt, and then it was just off to the races from there. I mean, Cousins only threw the ball 10 times, 8 for 10, 97 yards. And
Yeah, I don't love that, but from my fantasy standpoint, I have Diggs. I'm gonna need him to throw the ball like 20, 23, 30 times.
I
But
I
like
know
I know I love Dalvin Cook the way he runs the ball, but I'm gonna need Cousins to throw the ball a little bit more because I'm gonna need Diggs to get hot because
I think
I need to win some fantasy
the
leagues.
least they throw it, the better. The brought in Kubiak to help assist with the offense. We got the new zone run blocking. The offensive line is not good. I'm never going to say they are, but the zone blocking seemed to work okay. And Dalvin Cook definitely back from his ACL. He showed why he was such a stud coming out of college at Florida State. He was fast, he was explosive. They look good. I'm cautiously optimistic. We got Green Bay this week, coming up big game at Green Bay. But I mean, I was personally shocked. I definitely thought we were going to lose. Maybe if we played well enough, we could get a win. Julio struggles against us, against Xavier Rhodes. I think in 5 games against Rhodes prior to this, he averaged 44 yards a game. So Rhodes definitely closed against Julio when he comes to town. But overall, very happy.
Yeah, I definitely let you get your Vikings off.
Mm,
But yeah, they look good for sure. Big test week 2. I feel like Rogers always. I think you always say Rogers plays bad against y'all, but I feel like he always gives you a little trouble,
he
maybe here and there.
he
I
does.
don't know. You
It's weird. His numbers aren't Roger esque when he plays against us. He makes a couple of plays against us, but I don't know. We make him uncomfortable because we hit him. We know he don't like to be hit.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't like to be hit. No, I'm excited to see what this Vikings teams can do. Like I said, I wish Cousins could throw more. So I hope that's in the game plan from Kubiak and his crew. I guess Kubiak and his son. But yeah, no, the Vikings look great. That's a very impressive win. I'm kind of worried where the Falcons are going to go. Like they also like I was talking about the Redskins earlier. They're a weird mix, but like the Falcons still have all these old pieces that like they can trying to compete, but they're not competing. So like what are they gonna do here in a couple of years? Like,
It's
they just
hard.
like
Yeah,
gave
Matty.
Julio extension and all this other stuff. So
Yeah, and
you know,
Ryan's old. I mean, he feels like he's getting old a little bit. He looked good, honestly. Matt Ryan didn't look bad. He didn't have any time, and he made a couple of throws that were whoop, but he threw a bad interception in the end zone when it was only 21-0, and they could have made it 21-7 and really put the pressure on a little bit to start the second half. So, but we'll see. You're right. Atlanta's a big question mark. They got a big Sunday night game against Philly at home. So that'll be a real telltale sign to see how they do. All right. I'm gonna let you gloat now. Let's move on to your boys down in Jacksonville, your
Let's
Chiefs.
go.
What'd you think?
My Chiefs with Matty Ice, I mean not Matty, sorry. Mahomes looked great. Offense looked great. Defense still looking a little sketchy there. I sure hope we can tie some things up. I sure hope Frank Clark shows up. We paid him a ton of money. And Matthew, he comes up and plays for us really well. But all I saw, I kind of think they just picked up where they left off last year. I mean, it's sad to see, he'll get hurt. It's reports say he's going to be only out for like a few weeks.
Yeah,
So he's going to miss the IR. But I mean, I was very happy with what I saw from them. A little resiliency there because it got a little tough. But I also got very scared. Mahomes went to the dance.
I saw that. He was limping off. He got hit a couple times, that Jacksonville defense. I almost text you in the first quarter of this game when Mahomes had, 2 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns and, 220 yards. I was like, are they going to score, 10 million points this year? They looked absolutely unstoppable. It's it feels like playing Madden with them, against rookie. You just got weapons galore. Pat Mahomes can miss. I think his one incompletion he threw in the first quarter was a no-look pass to Kelsey, who was kind of wide open. If he had just looked at him, he was showing off. He would have had another touchdown.
I know. He told Kelsey he owes him one. Yeah, I also could have used that for fantasy. I'm just saying. So, Mahomes, you owe a lot of people one, okay? So, no, yeah, I got scared. Matt Moore was warming up, and I was like, God.
It's not a good sign.
But for Matt Moore, though, all he's got spots one open.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I hope they get healthy this week. We got Oakland on the road. So got a divisional game. It's always good to get those divisional wins. But yeah, I was happy with what I saw. I love to see the defense, tighten up a little bit, like I mentioned earlier. So, we kind of put a lot of money in the defense, got a new defensive coordinator. I'd hate for it to be like last year. I mean, it was just like last year. There's no point in finding a defensive coordinator, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, to be fair, they did lose. Jacksonville lost, their big sign, Nick Foles, Big Dick Nick. We know, broke his collarbone, not looking great. But Minshew from Washington State, holla again to Mike Leach. He looked pretty good. He looked like
He did.
He looked like he could maybe play a little bit. Fournette looked good. He looked like he's lost some weight. He looked like he was healthy. He was moving well, I felt. And they stayed tough, really, for the first, all things considered, until Miles Jack got thrown out of the game for throwing that punch towards the end of the half.
Oh, my gosh. Miles Jack was ready to legit, fight.
Yeah.
He did not want to leave the field. He wanted to, legit, throw down. I don't know what was said. Someone must have said something that really got him going. He was ready to throw some real hands, and he was gonna whoop whoever was in the way. If it was Jacksonville people, KC people, he was going through whoever it was calls to go through. I mean, he was really upset. That's crazy. I don't know if he's upset from just getting thrown out. And he's like, this dude did the same thing as me. I'm gonna whoop his ass. He gotta go out. So
he got that contract extension. He's got financial security now. He can be his true self.
I guess so.
But I also loved Sammy Watkins' reemergence. Man, he found his legs again. LaShawn McCoy, KC on top of that. Oh man, I just can't stop talking about that.
If Watkins plays like that, then I'm obviously get Hill back, and Watkins plays like that. Man, it's gonna be scary, for real. Cause the rookie's nice too. It's gonna be really, really scary because that's a lot of weapons with Shady and Damian Williams. So it'll be very interesting to see. So they gotta get a little healthy, but it'll be fun to see.
High hopes again. I'm sure you want another AFC Championship game in Arrowhead and maybe get redemption on Tommy and the boys.
It's gonna be hard to get in Arrowhead.
Yeah.
Tommy and the boys got a cupcake schedule, and they got a good team. So
this is true.
It's true. It's gonna be real tough. I mean, I think just go back in the Patriots real quick. They first 6 games of versus non-playoff teams. So they'll play a playoff team till week 9 or something like that. So
Yeah,
it's really, really crazy.
it's amazing. I mean, they still got to play a first place schedule, but they do. It does feel like they have 6 wins in that division every year,
I
easily
mean,
almost.
they they do play a first place schedule, but they mean like they play what 3 hard games of the year, and then they play this cupcake division. I know you
Yeah,
can't choose who plays in what division, but like
but yeah,
really
maybe
like could we
maybe
make
it's
it any
their
easier on these
greatness.
guys?
Maybe the greatness of the Patriots has made everybody so bad in that division.
I guess like it's got to be something. Like these teams are just bad football
Yeah.
teams.
All right. How
All
about
right.
the afternoon games? God, were those that was a bunch of snooze fest if I've ever seen them. Seattle, Cincinnati. Seattle didn't want to show up. Cincinnati played tough, but Seattle got the win. You were at that game, weren't you? Get a little view of
Yeah, I
that.
was live in. I was working. I was there. I saw it all. You had a little Seattle rain. The day started off kind of cloudy. Guess that Seattle vibe. The sun poked out a little bit, and then the rain came back down. So I mean, it was a good game. Clowney showed out. Even coming with 5 days off, like being traded. He was pressuring Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton actually looked really good. I know this Bengals team is supposed to be really bad, and people
Yeah.
think the Red Rocket ain't nothing. But no, he
They,
he actually looked pretty good. I
they were
mean,
and they're
John,
decimated on the O line too, and they lost Mixon in the third quarter, and he looked good. Uh, of course, Russell Wilson to lock it at the end. Seattle secondary really had me worried. They did not look good at all. Ross toasted them twice. It felt like
yeah, you might
all
have,
day.
yeah, for sure. It seems like they should have thought about paying uh what's the guy's name that's in Baltimore? Earl Thomas. I think I should have paid Earl
Yeah,
Thomas,
they
man.
should
Keep
have
him
paid Earl
around.
Thomas, keep him around out there. And the game ended on a weird note. Fumble that was upheld by replay. I watching it on TV. I watched it 3 or 4 times. It didn't look like he fumbled, so I don't know about
I
that
it,
one.
I definitely thought his hand was coming forward. I mean, the guy definitely hit it, but like
Yeah,
his hand was 100% coming forward. I don't know if I'm calling that a fumble, but I'm not an NFL ref, so but I
and
mean NFL refs are known to be great either, so
I
who
know,
knows?
but and then they sent it to the replay, but it was just weird because Cousins had almost the exact same play in the Minnesota game, and they ruled it a fumble, and then they overturned it to an incomplete pass. I didn't see much difference to that, but yeah, just a weird note when Cincinnati had a shot to maybe get in a field goal range with under 50 seconds left, but Seattle gets the win at home, and then all right, back in Big D. Dak and the boys, Zeke back in town, absolutely slaughtered the Giants. Eli Manning looks done. He's just looks old, can't play. But Dallas looked really good for as bad as the Giants look. Dallas definitely looked good.
Yeah, I mean Dallas looked great. I didn't watch much of this game, but I mean I saw some highlights. Dak
Yeah,
looked great. Dak's one of the other guys I really do like. I don't really, I'd be honest, I don't like care for the Cowboys. They
yeah,
do have a couple players I like. I like Dak. I like Zeke. I like Cooper, but no, they look great. This team should be pretty special. I hate to say it, but this Dallas Cowboys seems to be pretty good. That division between them and the Eagles will be fun to watch for sure.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's all I got. The
yeah.
Giants, yeah,
I
the
think the
Giants are at a
numbers
rebuilding
were
stage.
boosted a little. Like the Giants secondary, God, I think you and I could have played corner for the Giants out there. It was just no, it was bad. Like they looked. I think Dallas ran the same play twice. They ran a little post up the middle to the tight end and to Cobb, and both went for touchdowns. Just complete safeties nowhere to be found. Ogletree got sucked up on the play action, and it was bad, 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 bad.
Who's back in there? I guess they got Peppers, right? Julius Peppers, not
Yeah,
Julius Peppers. Peppers,
Jabril,
Jabril Peppers.
yeah.
Sorry, gosh, so bad with names today. Yeah, they got Peppers back there. That's the only person I can remember. Yeah, so I
Yeah,
mean, oh, they got the Jackrabbit too. What's his name? Corner. Yeah, but I guess their defense just got shredded. So,
yeah, I don't know, but
um,
total tank. Maybe we'll see Daniel Jones here soon, and maybe he'll show something out as a starting
I mean,
quarterback.
dude. I mean, it didn't hurt to get Daniel City year. No reason for him to get freaking beat up all year.
Yeah, he might. Well, you might
So
as well
or
just. I don't know. Eli looks done. It's sad. He got you 2 Super Bowls, but I think it's definitely time to move on with Saquon, and let's see if Daniel Jones can play.
yeah.
All right, other games: San Francisco, Tampa Bay. Neither team looked great. Jameis Winston, man, he seems like he can't be saved at this point. I mean, 2 pick sixes he threw in this game. They lost by less than I think they lost by a touchdown. Yeah, no, it got blown out, but it was a one-score game, and he threw a pick six at the end there in the fourth quarter to end it. And I just feel like he's
Famous
done.
Jameis right there. Famous Jameis. That's
Yeah,
classic Jameis right there. You know, may think I'm making a drive and tie this game up. He's like, oh, wait, I haven't thrown it to the other
yeah.
team in a little bit. Let me give y'all a present. No, I've been lacking, haven't thrown it to the other color. So no, that's it's spot on for Jameis. I mean, we all thought Bruce Arians might be able to talk something to him because he is the whisperer, the
He
QB
is.
whisperer. But no, it seemed like that's happening.
Yeah, I feel like
But
he's done, which is a
um,
shame because I
maybe.
love me some crab legs. But it seems like they're done in Tampa. Another team that's kind of gonna be moving on, looking for a quarterback. San Francisco didn't look great. Tevin Coleman hurt again. That team is just in. I don't know what's in the water in San Francisco. They seem to always be hurt.
Yeah,
But
can't stay healthy.
Little Bosa looked pretty good in his first NFL start. He looked all
Look
right.
real good. He had
Yeah,
like a few sacks.
yeah.
Every time I looked at the ticker, it was falling something. It was like Bosa with a sack. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah.
So, no, those Bosa brothers out there wreaking havoc out on the West Coast.
Yeah. All right. Indy, LA Chargers. That's still weird for me to say. Always want to call them San Diego. Indy was luckless because Andrew Luck called it quits right before the season start, which is a sad. But that offensive line is no joke. I'm pretty sure they're the best offensive line in football. They
For sure,
they shoved the ball down LA's throats. And they were in it all game. T.Y. Hilton, my fantasy boy, had a big day for me. 2 touchdowns. He's so underrated, I feel like. Even me in the past have talked down on T.Y. But, for what the whole situation is with them, without Andrew Luck, they were a Super Bowl team, it felt like, coming into this season. Brissett did well, but in the end, Philip and Eckler and those boys on D got the job done.
I mean, yeah, definitely. They definitely still got the job done, but I'm not writing off the Colts, man. They still look good. I mean, Brissett looked good. The team looks good. I mean, they are still a for real team, even though they don't have luck. Like you said, the offensive line is for real. They had the offensive line back in the Cowboys. The Cowboys rebuilt the offensive line, and everyone was like, "God, his offensive line is golly." Now it's the Colts who have that offensive. So I'm definitely not writing them off. Their defense is better. Malik Hooker with a
Oh,
beautiful
oh,
one-handed snag.
I mean,
Man, that thing,
ugh.
he tracked that thing out of nowhere and just snagged and it kept moving like it was nothing.
Did it felt like playing Madden, like just freeze frame, camera froze, and like you just snap your controller in half because, good lord, that
For
was
sure.
that was ridiculous. But no, I'm with you. I definitely think the Colts can make a run at the playoffs. I'm not sure if they can win that division because it feels like Houston's, the team to beat. They're pretty good. Tennessee's not bad, but I definitely think they'll be competitive. The Chargers felt like maybe missing Melvin Gordon a little bit. Just like felt like they needed a guy that could close the game out. Eckler looked great though. Had a couple big touchdowns for them, but we'll see where it goes. They are banged up on the back end. Derwin James, arguably the best safety in the league, only 2 years into the league. But if they can weather this, normally LA starts pretty slow. The Chargers, they're notorious for that. If they can stay, start pretty well, I think they'll make a deep run.
For sure, 100%. Yeah, I'm excited to see what's in store for them. The division, the AFC West, is going to be pretty good. I mean, the Chargers and the KC are always at the top battling, so we'll see what's going to happen there. But the Chargers definitely did look good for Week 1, which is definitely not something they're usually doing.
All right, and then the only interesting afternoon game, maybe it was horrible to start, but then turned into really really fun. Arizona Detroit, that was something to
K1,
watch.
baby.
Ah!
K1.
Oh, I think Kyler Murray may have had the worst 3 quarters in NFL history to start a career. I mean, he was 9 of 26 for 71 yards, I think, and an interception. In
It was ugly.
and
So
then
ugly.
I don't know what Patricia's doing there. I mean, stat pad for an old Matty, just padding the stats. Can't get it done. They just let the game get out of hand. Larry Legend, Fitzgerald, he still got it, doesn't he? Ooh.
Yeah, I mean Patricia, I don't know what he's doing. What's wrong with him? He had one
He had a little
he was like
crutch going on there. I don't
a crutch.
know.
Yeah, sorry, one crutch. I was like, what's going on? He have surgery or something? He can't hold himself up anymore or what?
I don't know.
But I mean, yeah, like you said, they kind of just let this game go. I mean, Murray, like, got in the fourth quarter and then it seemed like it hit him like, oh, I know how to play football, and like he just looked like Kyler Murray we saw at Oklahoma. And again, and so that Kingsbury offense was like, they kind of knew what they were doing there, and they kind of got this huddle up, this hurry up offense, and like a two step, get the ball out, and some rub routes going here and there. So now towards the end, they looked really good, and they looked really good in overtime. So I'm glad to see Murray and Kingsbury take a step. I'm 100% on this. I want to go and
You're
note and say I'm 100% on this bandwagon.
you're all on
I
the
want Kingsbury.
bandwagon.
I'm all in on the bandwagon.
S-
Kingsbury to be good. I want Murray to be good.
s-
I'm hoping this little mix they got go here works out, and then we don't look up 2 or 3 years from now, and both of them are and Murray's playing baseball, and Kingsbury looking for offensive coordinator job. So I'm hoping this works out and it all goes well. I know it sucks to tie, but from what I saw, this game's pretty nice.
It felt like the tie felt like a win. To be fair, Murray's 5'9" height. I mean, I know he's listed at 5'10" or whatever. I've stood eye to eye with this man. He is shorter than I am. I'm barely 5'10". Kind of had a few balls deflected at the line. It definitely showed. Uh, Fitzgerald bailed him out on a few balls. Made some unbelievable catches, especially late in the game. But I agree, if the offense can kind of just stay in the game with the defense and they get into that fourth quarter and they turn into this Kingsbury hurry up, because I don't think you can sustain, it's been proven you can't sustain that tempo offense in the NFL for the entire game. But if you can get into that offense in the fourth quarter and keep the defense when the defense is already tired and your defense isn't too tired and you keep them off the field and you can pick up first down, quick throw, first down, you're going to be dangerous and you can end up winning a lot of close football games at the end there just based on this offense alone.
100%. Also to note, the Cardinals are missing both their cornerbacks, so no PP and no whoever the other cornerback is. So I
That
mean, the defense is going to get a little better once they get healthy. So
that's true.
uh,
I think. So the Monday night game, boy, that first game, Houston, New Orleans, that was something, wasn't it?
probably the best game of the weekend. Honestly, it was a very good game. Deshaun Watson, the one another great quarterback I love in the league, showed out, showed heart, drove his team down the field late, delivered a beautiful ball at Kenny
Both
Stills.
both those throws, the throw to Hopkins, the throw before was unreal too. Uh,
Yeah,
he showed why he's a stud. I love it. I hope he stays healthy. Houston needs to protect him a little bit better, and he also needs to do a little bit of a better job of getting rid of the ball. Because
yeah, that's
he's
true.
special. I mean, I was a big fan of his coming out of Clemson. We remember that draft. He was your boy in that draft, and Mahomes was mine. But I don't think either one of us have been wrong on these two. They feel like something special. But the end of the game, Bill O'Brien, what are you doing? You're
No,
playing.
Romeo Cornell, what are you
Yo,
doing? Why are you
yeah. Say
pivot? Like, they only need a field goal. They don't need a touchdown. Like, what are you thinking? Oh man, I don't
paying
know. He's rolled over in his sleep thinking about that.
so backed off, giving him
Mm.
10 yards. Drew Brees can't throw the ball 30 yards downfield. He's old, his arm is old. He can't throw the ball downfield. What are you doing? I didn't get
Yeah,
it. I mean, give Lutz the credit. He made the kick. It was 58-yarder. It was a boomer. I felt like that saved New Orleans season. If they had lost that game the way that it was looking like they were about to lose after losing the NFC Championship game the way that they lost it, it felt like the team would just be like, it felt like they would collapse because I don't think Sean Payton's a very good leader of the team. He's a lie. He complains a lot. He doesn't seem like an adult. Drew Brees is definitely the adult in the room for that
you don't
team.
love Sean Payton because he put a
Yeah, I
belly on
mean, he's only been,
Vikings.
he's only cheated a few times. It only cost his soul. But Drew
So is
Brees,
Bill, but no one talks about that.
he didn't get suspended for a year. But Drew Brees led the day, looked good. Kamara, he's a freak. Of
Kamara is very, very good.
uh,
I have him in fantasy, so it's not scary to watch him this year.
that
But
helps.
that does help. But man, dude is real. Like every time he touches the ball, I feel like you're just hold your breath and and
And
see what happens.
and
Yeah.
I'll never forget watching his first college game when he started for Tennessee against A&M. We were excited because we thought, Tennessee lost their starting running back, and like, oh, they're starting their backup running back. Like, this is a big break because it was a big game. I think both teams were ranked in the top, 15, top 10 at the time. And man, oh man, I watched him play, and he had a monster day. And I looked at my buddy, I was like, this guy can play. Who is he? And then,
Yeah.
falls to the third round. Nobody really talks about him, but I knew from the day one, saw him on the field, I was like, this cat can play. Whew, he's
He
scary
can
to deal with.
definitely play some football. The ball in his hand is very scary.
And then the last game, Denver Oakland, a much needed win after everything they've been through for Chucky and the boys. Got it done, and the Raiders picked up a win week 1 against Denver at home. And I felt good for them. I was happy for them. Antonio Brown seemed to really not want to be there, and they really wanted it to work. But they didn't look bad. It felt like they got, Jacobs was really, really impressive for his first start as a running back. And Carr hit his guys, and the defense didn't play too bad, I felt like.
No, definitely. I definitely agree with all that. Like Tyrell Williams looked really good. Carr looked good. Like you said, Jacobs looked nice. But what I want to talk about is Joe Flacco, man. You
Oh,
talk about Eli not having it. Joe Flacco does not have it anymore. I mean, he's just like missing guys, not reading, not. He just really seemed lost out there. Like
it
it's
it,
just
it
bad. Like I
hurts
can't.
because I was a big Joe Flacco guy, because he was so good in the playoffs. Playoff Joe was as good as it got, for a time there. But that was painful to watch on offense. And they're a little limited at wide receiver. But they got Lindsey and they got Royce Freeman. They got good backs out there, and he looked lost. I agree. He looked old. He looked slow. And John Elway, Hall of Fame
What
quarterback,
is
not a Hall
what
of
are you
Fame
doing,
talent,
son?
not a Hall of Fame talent evaluator at QB. It feels like he has not done
Oh.
well since getting Manning.
No, what I don't know what he's doing. Like he needs to figure something else. He needs to let someone else step in. He needs to do everything but evaluate quarterbacks.
Yeah, he just kind of needs to be like what Magic Johnson wanted to be for the Lakers, just kind of like that
Yeah,
figurehead.
he just needs to be a figurehead. He come and shake hands, kiss babies, be like Denver will be your home. Like it's
Yeah,
just he would do whatever, but he does not need to evaluate quarterbacks anymore.
I mean,
And I was really underwhelmed by Big Ben. All we heard about his defense and the Chicago defense last year and how many years he's been a coordinator, and that Broncos defense did not look great at all.
no,
I mean, I feel like the
I agree.
Raiders weren't doing anything that was crazy.
No,
So,
yeah, I mean, I agree, but Vaughn's getting a little up there. He's still pretty good. Chubb is going to be a stud once they get that figured out.
but
They,
I mean, how many longer are we gonna say that Chubb's gonna be a stud? Chubb's
I
gonna be a
know
stud.
this is
I
true.
mean, when is Chubb gonna be a stud? You
I
know what I
mean,
mean?
he showed flashes last year. It's hard. It's hard. It's the NFL. Uh, but I
That's
agree.
true.
Denver feels like another tweener team, kind of like Washington. You're not really sure what they're doing, where they're going. Uh, I think they do need to kind of blow it all up and start fresh. Find a QB and
I
just
mean, my thing is like, why not blow it up? Because the defense could still be very good. I mean, like they got some really good pieces in defense. Like if you find a capable offense, you can be competitive.
this
Like,
is
but I mean, with Joe Flacco, I mean, it
yeah,
just
it's
doesn't look
not
great.
they're not having it. All right, so that was week 1. Let's move on to T. Who were your boys this week? Who balled out for you?
Uh, and who bought out? I'm gonna take it back to college, and I just want everyone to jump on this bandwagon. I'm talking about my friends, but Justin Fields, we knew about him coming out of high school. We knew he was gonna be a good guy. He's a good guy. He's gonna ball out. Things didn't work out for him, and Georgia. He transfers to Ohio State, and man, first 2 games he's been awesome. Last week he was 20 for 25 with 224 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had 42 yards rushing and 2 rushing touchdowns. I mean, I know he's just playing Cincinnati, but my man Justin Fields, has been balling the last 2 weeks. He's got to be somewhat in that Heisman race or consideration for sure. He's my guy this week. He's been balling a lot. I'm happy to watch him. I am not an Ohio State fan, but I will be watching for Justin Fields. He seems like a good kid, and he seems like a kid who knows how to play some football.
All right, and I want to give a shout out, just a little shout out to Joe Burrows, the ex Ohio State quarterback down in LSU. Boy, did he look something
Joe
special.
Joe Burrows did look really good. I had a friend go to the Texas game, and what he said was Joe Burrow made every throw, and I feel like watching from home, he really did make every throw. I
Yeah,
mean, it's I don't know when the last time LSU had a capable quarterback, like a really good, decent quarterback that was as good as Joe Burrows has been. I mean, this year, so it's going to be exciting to see LSU play. I mean, they're opening it up. They
yeah.
have some five wides, some empty sets. I love that. They got out of that. We're going to pound the rock. Though, like this hasn't worked for us. We got to get out here and throw the rock around. So, that's going to be exciting to watch.
And that was the highlight game of the week in college. Let's touch on college a little bit. Texas LSU, a lot of hype, a lot of talk going up to it. DBU, both universities got a proud history of DBs back there. And things were a little testy between those two. Got a little chippy, but hard to claim DBU by either team because it was a offensive juggernaut out there for both teams.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I think LSU might have a few DBs, maybe one or two
Hey
that
man,
might
the
go to the league
honey
this
badger don't
year.
honey badger don't care. Pat P.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Oh,
no,
you
no.
mean
I'm
like
talking about
now? Now, yeah,
now. Yeah,
yeah,
no, they got some guys for
the,
sure that's in the league,
yeah.
but I'm talking about now. I
Now,
don't know. I'm kind of not in touch with that, but
yeah.
yeah,
It
it was
was
definitely an
it,
offensive juggernaut, and it was exciting to watch.
it was a good game. Texas not back yet. They're still not back. LSU
Okay,
showed
okay,
showed the dominance
I
of the
know.
SEC. Little SEC nod right there. Uh,
See, come, we gotta bring this down. See, I know we're big A&M SEC, been SEC for a little while, so we pledge SEC allegiance. But Texas isn't bad. Like this still is a very good Texas team. Probably gonna run the table in the Big 12 unless they lose to OU down in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. But this is still a very good Texas team. Like they very much still have a shot at making some noise here. I know you don't love Texas and what they do. You think they're phony and all this stuff. They were in this game with LSU. Let's not get this wrong. Granted, LSU was on the road, week two, yada yada, whatever.
no AC in the locker room in
No,
100 degree. 100
yeah,
degree
no
heat.
AC in the locker room. A nice little play for Tom Herman there. A little joke.
Uh,
I think it's
I
gonna
think
cost them.
that's a little too far. I think it's a little dangerous. It
Yeah,
was very hot down here.
yeah,
I was here in Austin. It was hot as hot could be.
yeah.
But
He's gonna regret that next year when he has to take that trip to Baton Rouge.
oh,
Uh, I'm sure the toilets won't be working. The AC will be off.
they'll find his
The
hotel. They'll know where
yeah,
he's staying.
yeah. I would not. It's not the smartest move he should have made. He should have really thought into that and like, dang, I got to go back to LSU
Yeah,
next year.
not a good
So
move. But
he should have saved that. He should have saved that for if he was the second home team
yeah.
and done pulled that move. He was not smart about that one.
Yeah, but I will give a little credit to Texas. I definitely think this game was more about LSU and less about Texas being bad and overrated. I think LSU just definitely look like a team that can give Georgia and Alabama a run for their money in the SEC, and if not for the national championship. Uh,
100%. I totally agree.
yeah. Clemson, A&M, that was another top ranked game. A&M flat as could be on offense. Defense looked
I
pretty
mean,
good.
they A&M really try. Like Clemson, yes, Clemson's a very good football team, but from an A&M standpoint, like these guys who just didn't even execute. It seemed like they didn't try. They weren't like they didn't even like play.
Yeah,
Like if they were just put a little effort in or whatever, just made some better play. And like I said, I'm saying make better plays, but like it's like execute. They would have been like at least in the game. They're always kind of hanging around there. Man, it was hard to watch. It was
it
just
It
weren't
was
making
tough.
catches and all
It
this
was.
crazy
I
stuff going on.
think. I think the tone was set by the second throw of the game. Mon missed wide open receiver that probably would have went for a touchdown. Big play. Really could have set the tone early. I will give the defense credit. You held the defending national champions and by all intent the best quarterback in the country by most people's tabs. You held them to 24 points. And really, one of the touchdowns, the D lineman pulled his calf, chasing Lawrence out of the pocket on a broken play. Maybe that leg doesn't give out. They may not score on that. But other than that, Army, Michigan, like we touched on earlier, had a big scare from Army. But Army's good. They won 10 games last year. They took OU to overtime. So that's a tough group of boys they got up at West Point. But
That triple option is hard to prepare for. I know high school and college is very different, but to prepare for it a whole week, and if you've never seen it before, it's tough.
yeah,
You got to be super disciplined in that, and if you're not disciplined, they will gash you for 5 to 6 yards to carry. So it's definitely tough to play, and if you're not, yeah, especially like a team like Michigan, I mean, whenever they gonna play triple option every 2 or 3 years, so definitely tough.
and it's not to mention they really struggle stopping the run. But Army seems like they're getting some physical recruits in there, which good sign for us, as a country. Get the biggest and strongest out there for our armed forces. But yeah, they're definitely a solid team. Other than that, very uneventful week. Next week doesn't look like going to be much either. Not a lot of highlight games. Pretty much a bye week for all the real teams, and then we'll start getting into conference play, and things will get exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited for the conference play, especially in SEC. And I think the Big Ten is gonna be a pretty good conference this year. So I'm excited to see that. I'm excited for college football, and when things get tough, I'm excited to see that. I don't love these cupcake games, honestly.
I
You
know.
know,
I'm with
I know.
you. I think everybody should all no cupcakes. We get big conference versus big conference, and
Yeah, I think we should play big conferences with big conference. I know the small schools need the money, so it's maybe we could throw them a bone first week. But I think week 2 and 3, if you're not playing conference games, I think you should be playing some Power Five schools.
yeah. All right.
So
So all right, let's look ahead. Week 2 of the NFL. Let's look ahead with what I want to move forward with our gambling segment, our degenerate gamblers segment we have moving forward. So we have our professional better, Mystery Better X, gave us his picks for the week this week coming up. And he's got
cash
to,
these in, people.
yeah,
Cash
cash
these
these
in.
in.
Our
He
guy's very good.
he
Cash
is
these
a
in. He ain't gonna let you down.
he is a professional. We got to keep. He wants to be kept a secret, but he's definitely a professional. His lock, you're gonna like this one, Terrell. His lock of the week: Ohio State -15 against Indiana. Lock it in. He has Ohio State
Hey,
crushing the Hoosiers.
hey, Justin Fields gonna come to play again. Yeah, so I'm all about this one.
His other game he likes, he big likes NFL. Liking the Cowboys -4.5 at the Skins. I think that line's moved up to 5, but I'm sure he's still going to be on it. I would agree. I think the Skins kind of showed everything they had last week against the Eagles and Dallas. Ooh, they look ready to go.
Yeah, I'm still taking that line at 5.5, but hopefully, Mystery Better locked it in at 4.5.
All right.
He's a smart guy.
And his upset of the week, I'm a big fan of this one. He likes the Vikings getting 2.5 at Lambeau on Sunday. One of the few games that should be a really good and competitive game. But I could see that. The Vikings have played really well against Green Bay the last 3 seasons. So I wouldn't be surprised if we came out of there with a dub or maybe lost by a point.
100%. I think the Vikings can win this game. So, I definitely am with this bet, and I think they should lock it in.
As long as we don't tie like we tied last year, I'm okay. Honestly, I'm okay with a
Yeah,
loss.
100%.
Honestly,
Yeah, honestly, anything worse than anything better than a tie.
yeah.
A tie is like, oh, you both tried.
Yeah.
So,
Except for that Arizona game, it did kind of feel like Arizona won that game, just a little bit
yeah,
because they
it
were down
did.
by so
It did.
much.
I'm sure it
Yeah.
felt way better that they
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 tied.
tied.
Yeah.
Also, to go back in Arizona, I forgot one of their DBs had an
Oh,
interception,
Tremaine
but he
Brock
dropped.
dropped it.
Terrain Brock dropped that interception. Somehow we're totally completely flipping this game. If he catches the interception, they're already in field goal range,
Yeah, with
and the
30,
Arizona Cardinals can win.
I think there was like 30 seconds left in overtime. But
Yeah, I was like,
typical.
man,
All right. So now my lock of the week, the Chicago Bears at the Denver Broncos, given 1.5. This seems like a lock. Chicago's had 10 days off. That Denver offense looked horrible against Oakland's lackluster defense, and the Bears are going to bear down, and I don't see how Denver scores in this game. So if Chicago can kick
yeah,
a field goal, I think they win the game.
yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that because I might not play Philip Lindsay this week because
Yeah, I think
Joe Flacco's gonna be in his back a lot.
that's a good sit. Do you have any picks? Any pick for you, Terrell?
No, man,
No,
I'm not a gambler, man.
he's
No,
not a gambler,
I
man.
barely, I just figured out how to read the lines. So, man,
We're
I'm not a gambler, man. Maybe check back midweek in NFL. Maybe I have a couple picks here and there.
we're trying to get you in. All right, so but looking forward at the games for week 2. Like I said, not too many big games on the schedule. Uh, Vikings at Packers for the 1 o'clock games. Probably the best 1 o'clock game. New England at Miami. That'll be fun to watch a slaughter.
It's gonna be if we Patriots see if they can hang 70 on the freaking Miami. So
Yeah, they'll be competing
we're
with each
gonna
other.
see.
Seattle at Pittsburgh, a very interesting game. Big bounce back game for Pittsburgh. They're gonna need that.
They need this win. They can't go down 0-2.
You can't
Especially the Baltimore has
hosting the Cardinals.
Arizona.
Hosting the
Yeah, I
Cardinals.
mean
Yeah.
they can't go 0-2 down 0-2 in that division. So they really need this game versus the Seahawks.
Yeah, I agree. Colts Titans, a little interesting. We'll really see where those two teams stack up against each other. Division games always interesting. But then in the late games, Saints at Rams rematch of the NFC Championship game. That feels like a big game.
No, definitely is a big game. Is that a 1 o'clock game or 4
That
o'clock
is
game?
the
Sorry.
4 o'clock. That's 4 o'clock game. 4
That's the
Eastern.
game
Yeah.
of the week or whatever.
Yeah, that'll be the Fox.
No, that's a big game. I'm sure it's a lot of testy blood between those two teams. They're back out in LA this time. I mean, they're out in LA this time, so it'll be fun to watch. I'll definitely have my eyes on that game for sure. And I'm excited to watch that. So
I think the Lutz field goal took a little steam out of this game because if the Saints had lost on Monday, ooh, boy, would it be looking tough if they're going 0-2 to start the season. It'd be looking bad. The Sunday night game's a good one. Philly at Atlanta. Absolute must win for the Falcons, right?
100%. I mean, yeah, it's a must win for the Falcons, but if you look at the Eagles, they're like, we got a must win. I mean, the Cowboys they're not trying to have the Cowboys go up a half a game or a game on them in their division. So, I mean, it's a must win for both teams.
This is true.
So,
Big,
it's a big game.
Yeah, set the tone. Philly definitely want to set the tone that we're back to what we were when we won the Super Bowl. Atlanta's trying to salvage the season. Really tough to start the season 0-2 with the division as what feels like a competitive division with the Saints and the Panthers. Not really sure, but we'll see. I expect a lot of points in this game. I think it's going to be high flying, high offense.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch the Sunday night game. So, I got a couple good slated games for the week. So, there we go.
And then the Monday night game, Browns at Jets. I'm hoping the Jets show up. I'm hoping Sam Darnold, outplays Baker.
No, Baker's gonna come bounce back week 2, throw about 5 touchdowns. OBJ's gonna have 2. Landry gonna have 1. Chubb gonna have a couple. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be a party in the end zone for the Browns. The Browns gonna put some points up. They're gonna put people back on the map. So let's go, and I'm ready for this.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'll be more interested to see if OBJ is gonna wear his watch again.
Yeah, he said he's gonna wear it.
Oh, that man's
my
crazy.
boy Drizzy said I put a Richard on a card. That's a Richard Millie.
Oh, you're right. He's just keeping it real. He's keeping it real. All right. Well, I think that's gonna do it for week 1. The Couch Coaches podcast. We will see you next week.
We'll see you next week, people. Y'all take it easy. Have a good week.